Hey guys, Spirit Spartans here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the World War II beta. I know it was a long time ago, but I originally made this video at the first weekend, about the problems in the beta. And there weren't really too many. I mean, there were some, but there weren't really too many that really bothered me too much. But then the second weekend hit, and bam, the hit detection and connection were terrible. We're going to get more into that, and yeah, so the second weekend was pretty much unplayable, and so I didn't really have time since that second weekend to really make a video. I only played the second weekend like the one day. Like, I played it like 24 hours, up to 24 hours after it came out. Then I didn't really bother playing it because the hit detection was so bad. And they need to fix that because you can't trust Call of Duty developers to make games perfect except for, having a dodgy hit detection. Because that's pretty much what Black Ops 2 was. The game was perfect. Pretty much, for the most part. I didn't really like target finders. I didn't like shock charges. But other than that, the game was pretty good. Other than the hit detection. Hit detection was the worst in Call of Duty from Call of Duty 4 up. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 had the worst hit detection, but it's also considered the community favorite. So I guess that could be what could happen with Call of Duty World War II. But I don't really trust Sledgehammer because they didn't even nerf the BAL or ASM-1 until a month, or not a month and a half, a year and a half after the game came out. A year and a half, and you didn't balance the two most obvious overpowered guns. Probably the two of the top 20 overpowered guns in Call of Duty history, and you didn't nerf them. Actually, it might honestly be like top 15. The BAL was pretty OP. ASM-1 was pretty damn good too. And they didn't nerf them until a month. Not a month, I said a month again. A year and a half after the game came out. So you can't trust these guys. And when you look at Black Ops 3, why the hell are shock charges in this game? Why the hell are shock charges in this game? No one wanted them in Black Ops 2. One of the biggest complaints, as I said, shock charges and target finders. If you remove those two things, the game is absolutely perfect. But no, they bring them back into Black Ops 3. Like, what the hell? So, other than those two things, guys, well, let me get more into connection. Connection, I'm not really too worried about connection just because, it's a beta, so they're testing servers. They're stress testing the servers. So, a lot of that might have been the connection just being, they were actually just, effing with the servers to make sure that, so when this game comes out, that the connection isn't at all an issue. So I'm not really too worried about the connection. It wasn't great the second weekend, but I can live with that if the actual game is like that. So they need to focus on the hit detection though, because that needs to be corrected a lot. So into the gameplay aspects, our maps are too small. I want to see a little bit bigger maps. They don't need to be large maps like Drone from Black Ops 2 or something, or Yemen from Black Ops 2. Even though I kind of like Yemen from Black Ops 2. But they need to be a little bit bigger. I don't know if that's just because I was using the airborne division, so I was sprinting around infinitely and faster, so I was getting places faster and I was traversing the map a whole lot quicker, but the maps played really small. So I really like that, but at the same time I don't want to do that 24/7. I think a lot of these maps are more designed for 4v4 play, which is kind of cool, but you have to realize the Call of Duty community is like 90+% non-competitive players, so I hope the new maps that they're adding, that we'll be seeing when the game comes out, are more towards, an actual 6v6 play style. So, other than that, grenades are OP, and this is one of the beauties of the Pig 10 system. You don't have people running around with grenades and tacticals as often. When you look at good players, when they're pleb stomping, they typically aren't using grenades too much. A lot of their classes just skip grenades and tacticals because they know that perks and attachments are more necessary in one-on-one gunfights. And so any edge you can get in those one-on-one gunfights are pretty good. Because when you throw a grenade, you only get to kill like one every 10 times or something. Like even less than that. Especially if you're just like randomly throwing them. But so you don't really get a kill that often from grenades. And so now that we don't have the Pig 10 system, everyone has grenades, and they're pretty damn powerful. So the objective game modes are going to be a struggle for real this game mode. And you might be saying, just use Flak Jacket. Well, Flak Jacket should be a basic training. See, what happened from the E3 build to the beta build is that they moved all of the good basic training perks, except like one or two, and they moved them into division training and division skills, or maybe not division skills, but division training. And so the basic trainings are trash except for one or two. I can't even remember what the one or two good ones were, but all the divisions trainings are really, really good, and they shouldn't be having flak jacket as a division training for LMGs, because that puts you at such a disadvantage, because the SMG has really, really good division training things, but it doesn't have flak jacket, because that's the only good thing about the LMG one, is that you can have flak jacket, and I'm not going to use it just to have flak jacket when I'm going to be getting outgunned, because the submachine guns guys using the airborne division or the assault rifle ones are outclassing me, because they have more to utilize than just, oh, you don't die by grenades. So they need to remove some of that. I really like the E3 build. I thought the E3 build was perfect on paper. I didn't actually get to play it, guys, so I am a little biased, but the E3 build, it's on paper it looks better than this build, because this build is definitely not balanced. It's more catered to the AR and submachine gun, the infantrymen and the airborne divisions. And basic training is completely useless, as I said, except for one or two, really. So I'm hoping that they correct that. And that's one of my concerns for the actual game, is that they're going to overcorrect stuff from the beta, because they already did that from the E3 build to the beta build, so they might do it again. So be cautious of that. But good things I liked about the beta is that it's boots on the ground. People aren't flying like I am right now. And I didn't even get to play the beta with my new monitor, so I'm so much looking forward to that, seeing how good I am at this game. I'm really going to enjoy that League play is in this game. Game battles integration is going to be from the very get-go. That's going to be good. League play, as I said, ranked play, we haven't really seen too much on it. Michael Condrey keeps teasing us about it, but I'm sure it will be fine. Maybe. I don't know how good the ranking system will be. I'm sure that they'll have an actual rule set, like IW did, to like a few months in. So, or quite a few months in, I should say. So I'm not worried about that. I just hope that they get a good ranking system down. That's my only concern about that, really. But I'm just really, really looking forward to this game. If they can fix that hit detection, that's number one priority. Number two priority is correcting the division skill and division training stuff and basic training, because right now it's not really balanced at all by any means, and they need to do that soon. And look at this. No, this is not the spot. There's a spot in this match where I just have the most atrocious aim. I don't think it's happened yet, so looking forward to that, if I even make it to that part in this gameplay. But so yeah, it was really fun. I didn't play, as I said, I didn't play too much of the second weekend. Oh, score streaks, I completely forgot about this. Score streaks were trash. The military score streaks, they were actually okay. I'd still like to see some of them buff, like the what's it called? The mortar strike. The mortar strike needs to be buffed. They need to add a ping. When you're doing one airstrike, you need to be able to have a ping to know where people are. I understand on the artillery barrage, you don't really need to have a ping. That makes perfect sense. But not having a ping on the mortar strike is really, really dumb, because then you're just randomly guessing on the map, and it's impossible to know. And so they need to add a ping there. Plus, that would also be really good for competitive, because then you can make callouts and that sort of thing to your teammates. High streaks, paratroopers were complete ass. They need to buff those. And I mentioned that in my score streaks breakdown video from the E3 build, was that everyone's like, oh my god, paratroopers are going to be insane. Like, no, they're not. No, they're not. They're AI controlled. We saw how bad the GI unit was for like the first 6 months of this game. The Black Ops 3 was out. Oh, look, this is the aim I'm talking. Look at this, guys. Look at this. 40 shots missed. And then I don't even get the kill. The GI unit score streak in the Black Ops 3 was trash until like 6 months in. And then it was decent. Still wasn't worth it. Paratroopers is looking pretty bad. They need to add more paratrooper units to it. And that would be one thing. Maybe even lessen the score, like 100 or something. Um, Probably not too much more than that because that'd probably be a good spot. But I know we haven't seen the dogs or the gunner kill streak, so those are going to be the two best probably. And there might even be one more score streak that we are missing that we haven't seen yet. So we could still, have maybe another high one. And that's the thing from Call of Duty games now compared to like Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2. You had so many more controllable kill streaks than you do now. Like, especially like the aerial ones. Like nowadays, we don't really have many aerial controllable score streaks. Like in Black Ops 3, you have what, the mothership? I think that's the only controllable kill streak. Like, yeah, the Raps are good and the Wraith are good, but at the same time, they're too easy to get just because of specialists. So they need to have proper balance on these score streaks. As I said, guys, I'm just looking forward to playing this game with my new monitor when the game comes out, getting you guys gameplay and whatnot. And I'm looking forward to campaign 2 a little bit more just because it's a World War II style game. And I think this game is going to have a fairly good story. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, yeah, overall, it was good. It was great the first weekend. The second weekend, the beta was pretty shit, not gonna lie. And so there's definitely things to work on. I'm sure the second weekend it wasn't totally just the game was flawed. I think they are actually, making the game, stressing the servers to make the game run, a little bit differently. To make sure when the game does launch that everything is in order. But the hit detection, that's my main concern, and it should be your guys' main concern. So because you can't trust these guys to actually make the game, because as I said, why are shock charges still in Black Ops 3? Like, what the hell? They removed target finders, sort of, but why the hell are shock charges still in the game? And so, it's one step forward, two steps back with Call of Duty, guys. So make sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. As always, guys, check out my Twitch channel. If you made it here, you really should check out my Twitch channel. And I'll see you guys on my next video.